know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm here with our host, former tight end Jason Dunn, and for the first time since even before the Tyreek Hill trade, our guy, Eric Warfield. Welcome.
God, it's been a long time. I didn't realize that. But hey, glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Well, I thought they traded you with Tyreek Hill. I was like, that guy, what you doing? Wait, that guy, he done went ahead and did. So they got him in a trade deal. You know, he's down there in Miami putting podcasts together.
I wouldn't mind going to Miami, though.
I hear you. I know that's right. I know. How you doing, E? What's going on, brother?
Good,
you know,
man.
we talk anyway.
Life is good. I won't complain about a whole lot. So I'm just enjoying it as it is.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. Good. Good to see your face back on this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I've been missing you, brothers, man. I can only tune in and hit the like button on Twitter every time. That's all I can do.
Yeah, I was looking to see what the last time you were on the show, and I scrolled. I kept going. I was like, no, he was there in the summertime. I guess it was, it was before the Tyreek Hill trade. The last one of the last topics you were on was we need to get a number two. Our offseason, one of our offseason ones were like, what do we need to target in the offseason? It was like, what number two receiver could go well with Tyreek Hill? We were talking about Allen Robinson, and like it's like so much.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro. A long time. But hey, we're back. Good to see you, fellas.
Yeah,
absolutely. But people don't know we talk anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We all talk regardless of whatnot, man. I know you was handling your business, and we know that we understand everything how it is. But man, like I said, the band's back together, like you said, band's back together, baby. Putting it on in there. So
yeah, buddy. A lot of people don't understand, man. Like the thing with a lot of these podcasts is that we give out a lot of information about our lives, and we try to give a player's perspective as to what we see, how we divvy things up play by play or throughout the games. But it also helps, when we get to sit down and chop it up with old teammates and just to hear old stories and reminisce over old games. And a lot of that stuff's beneficial to people mentally. There's a lot of guys that I play with, older, and some guys are younger, that are going through mental health issues, and they don't know how to either address it or to how what outlets they have to go with it. So I mean, if you have a moment to understand the benefits of a podcast, it's tremendous. I mean, it puts you back into team chemistry, because hell, we had a lot of great things going on with our with the group, and a lot of great players, coaches to come on and share their stories and some of their moments. But yeah, it sucks to have to disappear for a moment. But it's some things that I had to go through. So
Yeah, man, that's true. Like I said, man, we know that, and I kind of piggyback off what you just said. Uh, when you are talking about these things and guys are getting on here to talk about like their lives and whatnot, we wear so many hats, right? There's so many hats that we do, who we are to different people, so we have different facets of who we are.
Yeah.
I know sometimes the fans only see a little bit of it, just thinking, and it's like, we just regular people like they are. We go through things like they do. And so, we also, have other things with our life. Like my grandson, he's here now. I just came in with him. He's out there right now running around, and he's helped me getting ready, prepared for tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So, it's just life. It's how life is, man. Life is just like that. But the beauty of it is, because we do have this outlet, this platform like this, where we are able to see each other, we are able to converse and talk with each other about certain things, and that's the great thing about it.
That is true.
Yeah. So that team, man, you know how it is. That team bond, man, it goes deep, man. There's a deepness in that. You know what I'm saying? With your boys, you gotta make sure your boys, everybody's doing okay, man. But also too, like you said, chopping it up, laughing, having a great time with it, man. So yeah, as your brother and your teammate. As your boy, man, like I said, good to see the Green Eye Bandit back here, man, on the podcast Chiefs Concerns, man.
And I can say that I don't know if people were tired of us, JD, but there's been a few commenters every week. Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? And I'm like, he'll be back, I promise. So, and I got back. Someone's like, are you just pulling our leg? I'm like, I swear to God, he'll be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah, we had Beach working on.
I'll be back.
So we have Beach working on the deal to get you back here.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting year too, man. I know I made a comment on Twitter last week. The emotional roller coaster that these games take you through. It's like, man, if I could buy a pacemaker just to wear through a game, I feel better afterwards. And like the greatest relief is getting that W, but man, the heartache it takes you through when you see the struggles. But that's how games are. We've been in them, those battles, and yet, win or lose, I'm still Chiefs, 100%. So, but you hate going through those kind of emotions to where you have to see your team come back with a minute and some change or 13 seconds. But that's the beauty of the game also is to see them create those historical moments and pull out victories in games like that.
So man, let me ask you. So you watched our defense, man. Give me an assessment of how you feel. The defense has played, brother. You know what I'm saying? From your perspective, we've been looking for this defensive perspective for a while. What do you think about this young defense, bro?
You know what? I'm happy about where they're at right now because they're a lot better than last year. A lot of inconsistency, but for the most part, Chris Jones has done a pretty good job this year. Frank has stepped it up big time. Even he got the 4-game suspension, but he stepped it up big time. It's good to have Willie Gay and oh my God, I'm
Bolton.
Brain Park. A guy from Missouri, 32.
Bolton. Yeah, Bolton.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the way they're playing. Now, the one guy that hasn't shown me his potential, and I can't say his last name, but he's a first-round pick.
Karlaftis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the guys are playing well. I don't like the situations that our secondaries put in. It seems like we get a lot of one-on-one, and it's getting exposed. For the most part, I don't care what corner you are. Every corner's gotten beat this year. It's going to happen to everybody.
Yeah.
But we got to find ways to help them more. I don't know if we run cover 2 more, like a cover 2 blitz, but yet that seems to be the thing that's hurting us the worst is the exposure of the corners and a lot of deep balls. And so, other than that, I love what we're doing, man. It's different than what we did last year. Was I happy with bringing Frank back? Not really, because I thought we paid him a lot of money for the production that he wasn't doing, but he's really done a good job this year. So, and I hate to say a guy doesn't want shouldn't be on the team because of production, but like if I can't produce what you signed me for and what's used to me, being on the squad, I understand how the system works, and so he's coming along and done a great job. But heck, the thing that gets me the most is like watching the offense and like, how exciting they are, how good they are. And it's like, we'll get a drive. I'm like, what the heck are we doing? Like, why would we even try that? So to be honest, I think our offense can score every time we touch the ball, every single time. But we find ways to blow drives. And so defenses are going to struggle. I don't care who you are. They had Dallas Cowboys as one of the top-ranked defenses for the first, I don't know how many seasons of the games of the season. And all of a sudden, all their defense can do right now is sack the quarterback, and they're giving up all these other big plays. But yet, how much pressure do you want as a front seven than what Dallas is giving? Right. You can't find a better pressure front seven. But yet, like I said, people don't understand, like, in today's, like, you rarely get that 9 route tree, which is going to be basic routes. There's a lot of cross picking. There's a lot of double moves. And when you get in that kind of stuff, it's going to beat your corners no matter what. I don't care who you are, Deion Sanders to Darrelle Revis. They're going to get beat. And so I hate the one-on-one stuff to where our guys are out on an island at that point because we don't have that shut-down guy, but I don't know what team in the league has a shut-down corner right now. You got guys that are making plays on the ball and making some interceptions, but there's no shut-down corners in the NFL anymore.
Do you think the kind of leaving the guys out on the island, especially young guys like Jalen Watson, 7th-round pick, Josh Williams, I think 4th or 5th-round pick, think it helps these guys mature faster, kind of leaving them on islands as such, it starts right out the gate? That's the kind of defense we run with these young guys.
Oh, it definitely helps. I mean, when you see how you get exposed and at what point that you lost the route and the ball, you get to understand and see that or experience it. Boy, that doesn't make it any easier when you have to go out there the next week and you got somebody that's smaller in stature that's going to run a different route, or somebody that's bigger that's just going to outrun you. Playing corner is not easy. That you have to react to that guy's every step. And 9 times out of 10, the receivers are always faster than the corners, always. And so it's not an easy job.
Yeah. And so I know you said overall you like the way the defense is played. But how would you grade the secondary? Because JD and I, like, pre-draft, we were like, we need to go out and just get all edge rushers. We ended up kind of going more so the secondary aspect, going McDuffie, Williams, Watson, and then Brian Cook, to safety. How would you have graded these rookies so far, kind of being thrown and thrusted in and kind of thrown right in without any kind of other veteran cornerback on the team?
Marcus, we figured out ways to win games, and that's all we need. I don't know of a defense that's just the Seattle of the league when they had Sherman and Cam Chancellor and those guys. I don't know if a defense is that's that good at this point right now. So what you do is you give your guys a chance to make the play or make the tackle. And as of now, I think the thing that a lot of corners are having to do now is you're not going to make the play, so just make the tackle. So instead of having to try to knock that ball down, just go ahead and make the tackle. Or if you can, commit the PI instead of giving up the touchdown. It's not an easy task. We do have a young secondary. They're learning at battle. And to me right now at this point, I like what they've accomplished so far.
So let me say this, okay? Because what Marcus asked you, is what I've been talking about for the past few weeks with Williams. And I was saying that, you know, it's necessary that you put a guy like that out there to see what he can do, especially with the defense that Spags plays all the time with his corners. And so I think for me, and when I'm watching his technique, when you know it's like 3rd and long or whatever like that, it's like you don't get beat deep. If you know you don't have help over top, the one place you can't get beat is what? You can't get beat deep, right?
Yeah.
I think last week he did a good job as far as walling Keenan Allen out. And Keenan Allen just came in and just made that play on his side. You know what I mean? What do you do about that, right? I mean, come on. Guy just makes a play. It's the same thing like the dude tried to with Justin Jefferson. He goes over and make it with one hand. You can knock it down, but guys are going to make plays. I mean, you know, guys get paid. I mean, that's how it works in the NFL. And so I think, you know, everybody's talking about, you know, when it's 3rd and long, should he get help over top? Absolutely. Spags trusts, you know, Williams and those guys out there. He trusts them to do the right thing in their technique. When they play Buffalo, and we're kind of talking about this, I was like, you know, Williams, he's going to get better over time. And sometimes you got to throw a guy out there in the fire to see what he can do. And look, we've seen the best receivers in the game. I mean, if you think about it, we have seen the best receivers that the NFL has to offer pretty much, supposed to what? You know, Justin Jefferson and everybody else, we done seen that.
I mean, we had to go against Tyreek every week.
Exactly. So the thing is, the guy's going to do a good job. And I like that because you challenge guys early so they can be better off, further off in the playoffs, right? Because you kind of know what you can do. And I told this to a lot of people on Twitter is Spags, he sees the guys out there to practice, right? He's not going to put him in a situation he don't think he can do, right? We know this as a coach. I'm not going to ask you to do something I know you can do. I'm not going to do that. And I think people they think, oh, well, you shouldn't. Well, Spags trusts him. If he's watching to go against these guys in practice, he trusts this guy to come one-on-one with, you know, of course, against Davis and against Diggs. But those guys, you're talking about monster guys, right? I mean, you're talking about Devontae Adams, Diggs, Davis, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I mean, we go down the list of guys they didn't see. And so.
But, JD, the easiest place to coach from is where?
Well, yeah, of course. We know sidelined in the box. Right. Well, yeah, well, sure. So
I can sit from my couch and tell you everything that a coach should do, what the player did. Yeah, it's easy to coach from the couch, man. But you know, when you sit here and go through, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays practice with these guys, you understand what they bring to your defense.
Yes.
You're not going to run a play just say, oh, I'm going to put you on the island just to get you beat.
Right. Come on.
No.
Or we're going to just stay with the scheme. Well, I'm just going to call this because we got to stay with the scheme. No, we ain't going to do that.
Now, so if I call that defense and my corner gets an interception, then you're going to be like, great play. You know? But that's all because of what the corner did. You know?
Right.
And so it's like, people got to understand, man, like this is not an easy game. Every person on that field, all 22 of those guys that's in between those lines is getting paid.
Yes.
You know, somebody's got to get beat.
And look, and these guys, they're starting, like, these are the best guys in the business doing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we like upper echelon. I think sometimes, you know, the scope, how people look at it, I don't think they quite fully understand that part of it, right? But, man, look, I think, man, your assessment on the defense, man, is spot on. Like you said, Frank has been playing exceptionally well. Linebackers been playing tremendously well. I think George needs to come up and step up, man. He hadn't really sniffed anything. He got, maybe a half a sack this year? How many sacks did he have? I don't even know what his numbers are, to be honest with you.
I do know he's like –
he had one and a half?
He's leading all the rookies in pressures of all the rookies.
Yeah, pressures. I know.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, pressures. Yeah. But, you know, pressures are good. You know, that sack, because he's just right there. He's always just like right there, man. He's always right there. You know, so.
Half sack.
Well, you know, half sack. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
This is one thing that a lot of people online have been saying. I've been waiting to talk to a secondary expert and E. Everyone's been kind of shitting on Justin Reed, saying he's been kind of a bust of a pickup this offseason. There was a lot of hype on him replacing Matthew, and we really haven't seen much of him. What have you seen from Justin Reed?
Justin is not the honey badger, so don't expect somebody to come in and do what he did. I think he's doing an exceptional job. He's doing a great job. I don't sit and monitor his every play. So to say what he's given up as opposed to what he's accomplished for the team, I don't know the difference in what he's done so far, whether it's good or bad. But from what I've seen so far, I think he's done well. Well-rounded athlete. I wish we had used him more early in the season to kick some of those field goals and extra points. But outside of that, he's not the honey badger. He's not instinctively talented like that. He's going to make plays. I think we were all hoping that he'd have a couple more interceptions than what he has. But yeah, there's not a lot of people that are built like the Tyrann Mathieu. So let's not expect somebody to just come in and replace him, or for some of the other talented players that we have lost. When we lost Tyreek Hill, nobody expected JuJu to come in and make plays like Tyreek or Skyy Moore or any of the other guys. So you just got to bear with what you have, and right now we're pulling out W's, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah. And one thing, such a great.
No, go on, JD.
No, I would say that's such a great point of like the expectations, right? Of just saying like it, he's not honey badger, right? So get that out of your head. I understand he came in to replace him, but you need to realize who the honey badger was, right? All pro, what I'm saying, the 2000 make like all decade team, I think. I mean, he was a monster back there at safety. And so maybe what I see from Justin Reed, I think he's doing, like you said, I think he's doing a good job playing the position he's playing. I think maybe I expected a little bit better tackling. I think sometimes I see some missed tackles. I'm just like, that, I think he should get, but maybe I'm just being picky if I see something, right? That's just me being like, oh man, how did he miss that one, right? That's what that is. Yeah. I think overall, though, man, he's a solid safety, no doubt about it. I think, matter of fact, also too, just with his leadership, he makes the whole secondary better in itself, right? That's another thing. So he's got all the tangibles, everything like that you need in a solid safety, no doubt about it. So.
Yeah, and one thing too, coming into the season, we were talking about edge rush being a huge priority. We needed to address. We didn't think we addressed it enough. Then we got Dunlap, and what was it? We're going into week 12 right now, and we already have more sacks this year than we did all of last year. 32 right now. We have 31 all of last year. So that pass rush it's looking like $1 million compared to what it was last year.
It is. A thing last year we complained and we said that Spags need to quit with the experiment with Chris. I mean, it's working in year 2. He's got him on the left, he's got him on the right, he's got him up the middle. Mm-hmm. And Chris has been exposing offensive lines and getting to the quarterbacks or adding pressure. So sports is built on patience, man. And when you're invested so much emotionally, it's hard to understand that because you want it every play, you want it instant. And when you don't get that, when you see something that, you experiment with, and it turns out that it looks like it backfires, then you really get upset. So it's like, why we keep doing this? But Chris is a phenomenal. He's a special type of player, and with his talent, you don't think a guy that big can move as fast, but to put him on the edge to come off as a rusher, heck, man, he's taking advantage of it. He's made it work for us.
Yeah, it's a good switch up. I think maybe the difference was because they started him out there defensive end, but now when you're switching him up, it's a good change of pace. Big tackle, he had no idea that big jokers coming out there. He don't know what to do, So that's good. That's good game planning by Spags to do that, to pick and choose when to put him out there defensive end.
Yeah, it's being creative with a guy like that. With a guy like that, you should be creative and try to mix and match and do different things with him.
And it helps the other guys because the offensive line or the tight ends don't get familiar with their blocking styles, or not their blocking, but their rushing styles. So,
yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Trying to block something like that.
Yeah.
So I know if I had that sucker out there trying to block him, I had to hold on for dear life. You know what I mean?
But you know what, Jay? If you had to block Chris Jones and he lined up at the left rush end, and you were playing that right, you would figure out a way to pick him up, like how to block it. Now,
no doubt, yeah.
But if he keeps switching and you don't understand like what he's doing on one play after another, it's going to be hard for you to block that.
Right. Because I had to make that adjustment. And all of a sudden, with my feet, my hands, that's what I'm saying, man. It's tough, especially a guy like that caliber. You know what I mean? Now, look, I've done tremendously well. I want to say I pat myself on the back. I had some of the best in the business to do it.
Yeah, you had some dogs out there.
Yes, sir. Shoot.
You guys, we talked about Skyy Moore, not being able to replicate Tyreek Hill. And so far this season, up and down, as far as, people getting on him for not being, like some of these other rookie receivers who come out just right away, they're the guy. It's kind of taking some time, so many weapons over there. And then this past weekend, with being down JuJu, being down Hardman, and then Toney going down during the game, Skyy Moore came up big, and Mahomes went to him on two crucial third downs in that game. And that just shows trust. And stuff that we talked about him not having trust in Skyy Moore earlier on in the season, where he went to him and I think he threw an interception. Actually, 2 plays where he threw an interception to when targeting Skyy Moore. Sunday night came up huge. So my question is, even when Hardman and Toney come back, do you think that Skyy Moore has earned himself more time in rotation, in getting more snaps, even when those two guys do return?
I think so. So my take on that is like, I try to imagine a new guy coming in and play with. I don't want to put Patrick up with Michael Jordan, but just for instance, just describing the situation, coming in and play with Michael Jordan, greatness. Won rings, expectations of others. Like, what do I have to do to make him happy? I'm nervous for one because like this is considered the best player to me. Yet I have a job to do to help my team win and to satisfy his expectation. I don't know if the pressure gets to him, and all of a sudden it's like you bring him in. He's not creating the plays when Patrick breaks out of the pocket to help, the phenomenal passes or plays that Pat creates of what our offense is accustomed to. Then you try to find a place to put him with special teams, and now he's fumbling the ball. He's not the return guy specialist that you thought that you get. Plus, you're trying to create a position for him because he wasn't able to fit in or to beat out other receivers. So since you drafted him so high, you got to find a place to put him on the field. And so it's always like, I don't know if it's like all the bad talk that he's been hearing. And it's like, okay, I'm a second round pick. What is it? He's second round pick?
Second.
For a reason. I know I'm talented. I have all this talent. Let me go and play my game. If Patrick isn't happy and Patrick can't find a way to get me the ball, then that's on me. If I got to go out and play my game, beat my guy in coverage, Patrick's going to find me. But I just got to go out and be confident in my game and get through my game. So, and I noticed he's got that confidence now, and it's like it's just a whole different player out there. I was at the game when they played Tennessee, and the first punt, Skyy runs out there. And I'm in the stands, and I hear a lot of the people like, no, why is he back there? Like, no, like I can imagine, like, especially like when I play, like, there's fans that didn't like me, didn't want me out there. But just being that player and having to hear, like, people don't want you out there on the field, that's tough. Like, yeah, the coaches want you out there. The coaches know what you have. They know the potential that they drafted. And so give this kid a chance. Let him go out there and fulfill his season and go out there and do what these coaches drafted him to do. Don't sit there and make him, any worse feel any worse than he's already done for it, whether it was a fumble that he dropped on a punt, whether it was a tip interception that he caused Patrick to have. You got to, keep these guys in the game, keep them in tune to where they can continue making plays. And I love what he did last week.
Yeah, I think sometimes when opportunity presents itself, you don't quite know what you have until that you definitely have an opportunity. And we wouldn't have known that unless, you have Toney down, you have JuJu down, and you have Hardman down, right? And I was saying this before that I don't think his development, it takes time. Like he said earlier, man, like NFL is all about patience. When you're developing young players, it's all about patience with certain guys. And so they knew as far as like him coming around his development, it was going to just take a matter of time. But now he had this, the opportunity. He showed what you can do. But it's the same thing, like almost like Palmer when I'm looking over it. I'm just going back to, how the Chargers deal with it. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen come in, they're the number ones. They're going to be the starters when they come back. So when JuJu comes back, he's going to be the guy, right? When Hardman comes back, they're going to have him in. Toney come back, they're going to have him in. Skyy Moore, without his doubt, has earned, the opportunity to get more balls. And I think more to the point is the team and the coaches understand they can depend on him too, right? I think it took a game like this to show exactly like, look, this is the reason we drafted this guy. This guy is still a solid route runner. He's got great hands. He can catch the football and he can compete. And that's a really good feeling to have, knowing that you have that confidence in a young guy like him. And so will that take away from other guys' looks? I don't know. We don't know that. But we do know we have a solid receiver in Skyy Moore, right? That we know he can do those things. So it's not really that that to me is something that's going to take away from it. I think Patrick in itself too, he knows as well. It's like, but Pat talked about it. Pat talked about how solid of a receiver he was. And so we don't get to see it because all the other guys was in there, and you could see a guy like that. Like he said, man, he's returning punts. He's not the best punt returner. It's probably better guys on the team that could return the punts. I think that's the reason he brought Toney in, so he can do that, right? So I mean, that was where they was filling him in at the moment, but that wasn't his forte, right? But he's going to be a solid receiver, man, from years to come. I think we got a good pick in him in the second round.
I agree.
What did you guys think about Collinsworth comparing him to Julian Edelman? Do you see that kind of comparison?
He said what?
Julian is a special type of tech. He's a nickel type player. I can't do that.
You hear me say that? He said what?
Yeah. You know what? To me, no knock on my boy. This is one of my dogs. Skyy has the potential to be a Dante Hall. We first got Dante. Dante didn't do the things that he ended up doing with his career.
No.
And come to figure out, he's great at special teams, kickoff returns, punt returns. Then ended up being a great slot player. I think Skyy has potential to become something like that. He's not going to be a Dante Hall. Right. I think he has potential to have somewhat of a career like that.
Yeah, look, he's a possession receiver. I learned this from Burn. Burn was like, man, you got to watch. You can't use one guy to another guy's in the same sentence. Let's not compare him to Edelman just yet. Let's not do that.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. Right. I know Chris Collinsworth's be coming out his tail sometimes with some of the things he be saying. But he does have some potential. I think he's a good possession receiver. He's a guy that can work in the slot, no doubt about it, can get open. He's got great hands. He can catch the football really well. He's got range in catching the football. That's another thing. So, they talked about like his strength. He has like a really sneaky strength. They was talking about like him running routes, pushing on guys, and stuff like that. So he's like I said before, man. We know we got a solid pick in him for what he did the last game. So what was his number? So he was 5 for 63. That's what he got. 5 for 63. So he had 6 targets. That's a great day. That's a great day for Skyy Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are crucial 5 catches.
Yes, sir.
Moment, so.
That's right.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw the all-22 view of the that catch he had where he like kind of went back for the ball and like he dove for it, and it kind of from the far view it looked like the ball bounced on the turf, but he
never touched the ground. That's why I like that.
Oh yeah, I got it from you.
That play, if you look at it, that wasn't the route he was supposed to run. I mean, because Patrick broke out, rolled out, and then the play kind of broke up. So Skyy comes perfectly back to the ball, and that's something that earlier on in the game, Mahomes was pissed off about MVS not redirecting on one of the routes. They showed in the game where he was like, dude, like go upfield. We're like, that's a rookie kind of adjusting on the fly in a game, in a situation like that. MVS played with Rodgers. Skyy Moore's first go round, and he's adjusting on the fly to Mahomes, and Mahomes is trusting him on those third downs.
Like one of the things that's so unfair to a DB. So we get in 7-on-7s or even 1-on-1s, and they usually try to put a clock as to when the quarterback should release the ball, right?
Yeah,
that's not the NFL, and I don't know if like Skyy being a first-year guy having this clock in his head, okay, the ball's going to be released at this point. Like, my route is already run. Do I look back and block or what? No, you're playing with one of the greatest creators there is. So if your route is done, you what is it called?
Run and get open. Scramble drill.
Yeah.
Scramble drill, man. Scramble drill.
You got to find a way to get another route in and get the ball. Because Patrick is rarely going to take sacks, but he's always going to find a way to make a play. So, and you don't never know when you can be a part of that play. So, yeah, just because your route is done and you think that clock is done, play is not over.
Yeah, and I can see that's the frustrating part. Like you said, they're having to cover something like that all the time, right? So you could get into the on a basic or whatever, come back and go deep. All of a sudden they run around on the other side of the field. And boy, that is you could tell that right there is exhausting just to do that in itself.
Hey, a playbook is about that thick. I don't know if you see my bottom hand, but it's about as thick as my head. But every route is the same. You get nine routes, right, JD? It's a 9-route tree.
Pretty much. About 15 if you do like the whips and all of that, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but technically, there's a 9-route tree.
Mm-hmm.
Ins, outs, ins and out.
Yeah.
That's what we study as DBs. Now, yes, you can set up 3 receivers, 2 tight ends, running backs. So that's when you get creative as an offensive coordinator to try to throw. You still throw the same 9 routes. But when you break out of these routes or when you do double moves, excuse my language, you fucked up a lot with the DBs because we're so tuned into what we run at practice and what we see on these sheets to where we don't practice a whole lot of double moves because that's not within a playbook. But we have to get a couple run every practice. And I guarantee you, if you run those every practice, it's going to be success for the offense or it's going to be a pass interference.
Yeah, we got those plays in the book, man. But like you said, those double moves, that is tough. Yeah, jukes. Oh yeah, it's like jukes, whips, out and up, circus routes. Yeah, we got all those in it. You know what I'm saying? All those are in the playbook. What we would do. I tell like our offense
max protection. So you bring in 2 tight ends. Those
no,
are max
not on max.
So you can't run a double move. When you got all out blitz, it's not gonna happen.
No, you got to come out. You got to come out your break now. This guy, it's getting open right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to win at the line of scrimmage, right off the line. You know what I'm saying? But I think, and kind of talking about Skyy Moore and MVS, 2 totally guys with 2 different skill sets. Look, I don't think I'm saying anything controversial here, but I think Skyy Moore has better hands than MVS. That's me. I think a lot of people will probably say that. Would you say, Eddie? Would you agree with me on that one?
I mean, I think he's going to be all right. I'm not going to sit there and worry about if McCole or Toney will be ready for next week, knowing that Skyy had his moment to step up and prove himself. So if his numbers call, I know we can count on it.
Right. Well, what I was saying, I guess what I was kind of saying about that is where, we know MVS is a straight runner, right? He's that speed guy. He's gonna get deep on the ball. He's gonna go for the deep routes.
Oh,
Skyy has yeah. He has a little bit more in his bag. You know what I'm saying? I think he has a little bit better hands. We're talking about Skyy Moore, who was without a doubt in the mix with the rest of the first rounders of he could have been a first round pick. We know it got, there was a lot of teams looking at Skyy Moore for a first round pick because he was type of possession receiver. Thing was because of where he played, the competition, there was always those things. It was not how big he was, all those things. But man, we know, look, the guy played, when he came and he made that catch, when he came up, he knew he made the catch. He knew he made that catch. And so I think that's what, like, when Patrick is back there and he's looking for a guy, he can trust that Skyy Moore is going to catch the football. I think that's one thing he don't have to worry about is if I throw the ball to this guy, he ain't going to drop it. And I'm not saying anything against the guys last year, okay? But I don't know, he was necessarily trusting those guys' hands all last year. There was a lot of balls beating him up in the chest. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There was a whole lot of that. Skyy's out here catching this rock outside of his frame. So,
I mean, I think we had, last year was probably 7 drop balls that turned into interceptions for on Patrick.
Something like that.
Seven more.
How many? It was a lot.
It was a lot. I forgot the number, but it was a lot. I think it was the most ever for a quarterback.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just bad luck, bad bounces.
Yeah. beat him up, ball. Yeah. Beat him up, ball.
So another thing that's been trending on Twitter for the last few weeks was hashtag free RoJo, which I think JD actually started that one, free RoJo. So CH headed to IR, going to miss at least 4 games. And there's a chance that Andy Reid said there's a legitimate shot that Ronald Jones will play this weekend against the Rams. So we're gonna get our wish, free RoJo. But with the way Pacheco's played the last 2 weeks, and that backfield of Pacheco, McKinnon, which we've really gotten the last 2 weeks essentially, because CH has been active but not really getting a lot of touches or snaps. How do you see this kind of the backfield being split with RoJo being involved? Do you think it's going to be a seldom like 3rd and inches kind of thing where RoJo will come in there, or do you think it's pretty much Pacheco's backfield to lose at this point?
You can't make it a given.
Yeah,
you can't say like, I'm gonna use him on short yards. I'm gonna use him on, as a pass running back. So I like the way that they use everybody within a committee. The only real number one we have is Kelce, and that's in any department out there. So to say we're going to use Pacheco or McKinney on certain routes, that's kind of giving away your offense, and we can't expose ourselves like that. So for however we use all 3, I think they're going to be all 3 used the same way. It's just a matter of who excels at the moment. So I guess that's my opinion on it.
No, you're right. You're right. I think right now Pacheco's got the hot hand. So you go with the hot hand. He's shooting. Joker's been toting. He got over 100-something yards last game. I mean, you got to ride him out. But we know that Pacheco, his strong suit, he's not a pass blocker. We know he's not that solid back there in that pass protection. So you can't have him in there for that. Kenneth's got to be in there for that. And then you pick and choose where RoJo comes in. So if he's able to get like a little bit, change of pace here, give him 1 or 2. Shoot, give him 5 biscuits. He might do some of them five biscuits and turn into something else. So the thing is, man, you just like he said, man, it's running back by committee. But we know right now that Pacheco has been pretty much dubbed the number 1, probably. And McKinnon's the one. Like McKinnon's just a solid guy. You can put him in at any time. He's gonna be fine. But RoJo's a guy I want to see. Okay, we need to get him the ball at least, like I said, at least 5 times just against the Rams. And I know that sucker's going to be running behind his pads. He's going to be running hard. That joker going to come out there, man. He probably do 100 push-ups before he get out there on the field. I know he will. He'll be ready.
Yeah, well, he's been dying to get his shot this year, so here it is. Hey, and this is why Andy Reid didn't want to get rid of him. He said he's gonna get a shot at some point, and lo and behold, CH out for 4 weeks at least.
Guys get hurt all the time. Guys get hurt, man. Receivers, it happens.
Hey, especially when it's cold out.
You don't want to hit.
Don't want to hit or get hit.
E, what's the coldest game you ever played in? Real quick.
We played it was in California. We played the Raiders. There might have been
a rain game.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was just pounding ground, but man, it was freezing. I played in snow. I played in sleet. I played in rain, but that game, yeah, that was by far.
Is that when they wouldn't let us? We couldn't have no hot showers either. They usually do
it, but so, yeah.
Yeah. It's wrong, man.
And I remember I just looked at Marcus Patton, and Patton was just, he had the veneers, the fake teeth, and I'm sucker was just clanking. Yeah, but it's cold out here.
Oh shit!
I'm trying to see what the score was of that game. Oh man, we got shut out that game, 24-0. Was that the game?
Is that I don't
December 28th, 2002.
In Oakland?
Shut out
at Oakland, yeah.
How many passes were thrown? It was all running.
Gannon only threw 14 passes, and Trent Green threw 32 that game.
Oh no, that wasn't that game then.
No. Charlie Garr, 29 carries, 135 yards. Zach Crockett, 11 carries, 72 yards. Tyron Whitley,
okay, so it might have been that game then.
Yeah.
I know Zach Crockett was
Yeah, Chuck, yeah. Charlie got it, he was getting his. Shoot, he let all three, but Tyrone Wheatley, Crockett,
yeah.
Yeah, God, everybody was running the football then, huh? So I look like, daggone, who else y'all got out there? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Mike Cloud was our leading rusher with 9 carries, 23 yards.
Mike Cloud.
Damn.
That's a name.
Yeah.
And Blaylock had 3 carries, 17 yards in that game. So I guess we were throwing most of that game.
Damn.
Trying to catch up. Probably that's what it was. You said we shut out? Probably trying to catch up toward the end.
Yeah. Jeez.
That ball was waterlogged and everything, man. Trying to throw the ball
the whole
in.
field was water.
Yeah.
Okay, so final topic here. I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Kansas City. I imagine cold, but LA's going to have to deal with that one coming from LA to KC. So reigning Super Bowl champs, not the game everyone was hoping for this year between Rams and Chiefs. A lot of people expected more from the Rams, but that team's just kind of, with injuries and everything, that team's kind of a disaster right now. Chiefs are a 14.5-point favorite going into Sunday, which is just that's huge. So I got to ask you guys, who do you guys have on this one? What's your projected score for the game on Sunday?
It's been bad to watch the Rams play. I'm a big Aaron Donald fan. I like Ramsey, but it's been bad for them overall, offense and defense. So, I think we beat them by 3 touchdowns. So I'm gonna go, and I don't even know if Stafford's playing. Is concussion?
No, it's gonna be Bryce Perkins. Bryce Perkins will be the starting quarterback.
Yeah, so I hate to have somebody that we don't really know come out and just have one of those unexpected good games. But I still think we beat them by 3 touchdowns. So I'm gonna go 24. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go 28-7. I just don't think they have enough offensively to put up points because they're still Cooper Kupp's out.
Yep.
Robinson hasn't been playing well. They don't have much.
It's going to be a high of 45 on Sunday and sunny. So cold.
What you got, JD?
Shoot, man, you was right there with me. I was going to be 28-10, but I think I'm gonna do 28-13.
Okay.
I just, I'll see somebody they'll get lucky. They'll scoot out, and then sometimes you get a lull in your defense because you know who they don't have. And then, it'd be a brain fart. And it's like all of a sudden the guy scooting down the field for 45 yards. The field goal. So,
hate to see it.
Yeah. So I think it'd be pretty easy. 28 to, like I said, 13. That's where I'm at.
Well, that's how the Titans game started. Remember, like that first play from Willis was that like that tight end like broke a few tackles and then went all the way downfield like the 10-yard line.
Yeah. He's a difficult one to prepare for, and that was just you let that big horse run up the middle, get that momentum going, and then he pulls that ball and he's hitting those edges. So
yeah,
that was tough, but we figured it out.
Mm-hmm. And I believe it's the. Every week, our games have the highest total points over under every week, and I believe that it still remains the same this week with our game. Actually, no, it's not the highest. It's not the highest points. It's 43.5 total points for the game on Sunday for us. It's not the highest of the week. So
that's about where JD's at, close to
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we go, since it's Thanksgiving, and I think it's a perfect episode for our whole crew to be back. Thanksgiving, thankful to have our guys back for the first time this season. And last year, we did, the favorite sides, and JD made it known that he's not a mac and cheese guy. So we're gonna let you off on that one, JD. So my question to you guys is, what is your favorite go-to dessert on Thanksgiving?
I'm a cheesecake or a pumpkin pie. Not pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie.
Wow. Shoot, I got one for you, man. I went to Costco. They got a pumpkin cheesecake.
Oh, I had that.
Have you?
Woo! Yeah, I just had it. I just had it last week from Costco.
Yes, sir. That's right up there. That's right up there. I got one in the freezer right now, dude. Serve that sucker tomorrow. But also, too, one of my favorite, my mom's been making it forever. She doesn't make it anymore. My sister makes it now, is chest cake. That's what I like, chest cake. Yeah. Chest cake and derby pie. That's the three. But that pumpkin and cheesecake's right one of my favorites. Chest cake and derby pie.
What is chest cake?
Chest cake is kind of like it's like lemon square, but it's not lemon. They put a little bit of lemon in it, confectionery sugar on top. It's got a nice, really chewy, moist crust. Sucker's fire. Absolute fire. Sweet as all get out.
Cake.
Yeah, chest cake. Mm-hmm. You ever had a chest pie before?
Nope. God, what is that? I'm trying to think what this is. I've had it. Man, I cannot think right now. Brain is all screwed up. It sounds like a butter cake. You ever had butter cake?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, butter cake is amazing.
That's great.
Yeah,
extra sweet, but
it's sweet. Yeah. It's sweet and it's chewy.
On the bottom, yeah. I mean, it's
like the whole crust all around it.
That's what once a year to splurge on it.
Yeah, that's true. What's yours, Marcus?
I would say pumpkin pie is probably my go-to, pumpkin or a pecan pie.
Gotcha.
Pecan pie's all right. You guys pecan pie fans or no?
Oh, I dabble.
I'll do it, but it's further down on my list.
Pumpkin pie, exactly. I saw this online. So some people are like anti, like I don't know. It's a big deal to be very anti whipped cream on pumpkin pie. I love whipped cream on my pumpkin pie. And that's one of the few times to have whipped cream is with a pumpkin pie. Some people are like very anti. They say your pumpkin pie sucks if you have to put whipped cream on it. I think you have to. That's
true. It's true. It's really? Almost true because it's like
is that like putting A1 on a steak?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it's like. Shoot, if you can't cut a pumpkin pie piece out and just eat that, I need some whipped cream on it. It ain't that pie. It ain't that one. So you ain't gonna ask who made it. Don't bring it back next year. No. Mm-mm.
I used to be a big banana pudding guy, but I don't like bananas in my banana pudding. So it's basically not banana pudding. So.
What about blackberry cobbler? You like cobblers?
I deal with cobblers.
Man, God, dog, man.
I didn't say no.
Okay.
Dang.
I'm like, y'all jump all over now y'all get on me for the macaroni and cheese. I'm all over E for the cobblers.
JD, it's hard for me to say no to any kind of dessert.
I hear you. Here you go. That one right there. Yep. I'm right there with you.
Do you guys consider candy yams a dessert, or is that a side dish? Because I said the other day that's one of my favorite side dishes. Like, that's basically a dessert. It's like, well, no, it's a side dish.
I mean, it's sweet enough to be a dessert, but it is a side dish.
Side dish, yeah. Hey, Joker better not put no candy yams out talking about this dessert. What you talking about?
You gonna throw some ice cream with it?
Right, yeah, dessert.
You got the marshmallow and the pecans over top. You got pecans.
Yeah.
The nuts.
And you just like pecan everything.
I do like pecan. I like my favorite syrup. My favorite syrup is the butter pecan syrup. Like they have it at IHOP and stuff. And they have it like, you can get at the stores. The butter pecan syrup tastes so good.
It is true. It's pretty good.
But lastly, before we go, we have to do a giveaway. So we had one more giveaway of our GLD necklaces that we were giving out. So this is our last one, and we did a little random little thing with all the names that gave us a review and subscribe to us. And the winner of this one goes to Cali Does Sports. She follows us on Twitter. She's one of our big subscribers on YouTube. And so Callie, we hope you enjoy the necklace. We're sending that off to you.
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Some good bling, I'm telling you. Some good bling. Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to start off the holiday season, getting that right before Black Friday. There's one less thing you have to shop for. Some
it's true. Jewelry.
Well, look, before I go,
guys have a blessed Thanksgiving, man. Try not to eat too much.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure gyms will be open bright and early Friday morning. So if you decide to outdo yourself, hit the local gym.
There you go. Hey, man, listen, happy Thanksgiving to y'all fellas, man, and everybody out here in the Chiefs Kingdom. Come watching the Chiefs Concerns, man. Have a blessed one, you and your family. Just so a lot of things to be thankful about, man. And y'all two guys in my life, I'm really thankful about y'all. I love you too. And so, enjoy your family and whatnot for Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Love you guys. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Good night, fellas.
All right, fellas.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.